posted this on my TikTok. I'm just going to keep talking about it because I believe in my spirit I'm being led to talk about what this is. And it does mean a lot, even if Christians don't believe in it or not. And they say, why am I focusing on this? Because just like the old prophets, they all had different assignments and different duties, but building for the same kingdom. Graphene. And I could go into deeper detail about what they were actually doing this, more than just splicing, but how they were playing with the rocks and everything to liquefy them and do all this other stuff. Just your basic stuff on planet Earth that they could actually do so much with, that we, even with our science today, we think it's so glorious and everything, but we don't see any of this other stuff on land, on Earth. Don't see it as anything too special to cultivate with it, to use it for anything meaningful. But I promise you, they were using this stuff even in the days of Enoch. Not just splicing with the DNA, manipulating, but other things as well. So much more than the human mind can even fathom. The graphene, as I said in my other videos, extracted. They say they first discovered it, but it's always been around. They say they first discovered it back in 2004 in Harvard University, where they took the clear tape. I think it was like the heat resilient clear tape, where they applied heat to it with the clear tape, and then they took just layers of the tape and pulled it off of the rock, so they could extract the graphene from the graphite, which comes from meteorites. And now, how do I know this? Is the symbology, even in universal law, I'll show you verses rather than tell you. Even in things like in the movie Spider-Man, where graphene came from the graphite from outer space. It's basically, view it as it's extraterrestrial. It's not from this planet. And so, what does graphene symbolize? It symbolizes the corruption of everything. Remember in Enoch, the corruption of all of mankind and the earth, everything that lived, everything that walked, everything that breathed, it was all corrupted. And that's when God was talking about how he could see the hearts of not just men, because it goes deeper than that. I'm not trying to over spiritualize anything. I'm just saying it goes so much more deeper than that, because there was evil in not just humanity, but the things that were living on this planet. You go through your life and you heard the stories about all these different creatures, the leprechauns, fairies, all this other stuff, these fallen creatures. And basically, they were all evil. They all had hearts too, but basically they were all evil, basically. And they come from the same blue bloodline of the Nephilim, the fallen angels, going into Cain's bloodline, the demonic seed, the demonic bloodline, and everything else. But graphite, basically, they were not just liquefying it down and using it for liquid things, but basically they were doing a lot more than just splicing different DNA with it, and it goes so much more deeper. When I say, I don't know if you ever seen the stories about, even in Egypt, when the people and the pharaohs would die, they would use that black ink goo substance to pour over their bodies, so they would use it as like a method of immortality, so their spirits, they got something to do, more of a spiritual setting, so their bodies would be preserved forever. I guess in a way, their beliefs were they could use this substance, this graphite, because it has so many different characteristics. Because, as I say before, and I'll say it again, there's life in the blood, there's life in the graphite. Why else do you think they would pour it over their bodies, these pharaohs would pour it over their bodies, to basically claim and use it for immortality, to basically live forever, as they thought in their beliefs? But no, this stuff, it is living. You liquefy and oxidize it down. It basically is a living material, just like you use it in alchemy. And they used it in alchemy, and plus human blood, animal blood, or anything to splice different things, because there's life in the blood, there's life in the graphite. And so basically that's why you would find they found these pharaohs covered in this black ink substance, and I wonder what it was. And even the bacteria that was still in it then, they found it that they could bring it back to life, and it's still living today. So it's like an eternal living being, but it's a gooey black goo substance. And so that's why it also connects in deeply into the occult. It's why you see in these music videos and all this other stuff. I'm trying to be kind of cautious about what I say on here, that the black ink is used for an eternal substance, because a lot of the beliefs go now, especially connected into the occult, that it's used for immortality, basically. I'll just say it like that. The beliefs, and I could see it like that. You know, you don't have any other beliefs except wanting to live forever. You could really view it like that and believe that it's a blacking substance, basically, used to for someone to live forever with, and that's why they use it. So, yeah, I'll make more videos on it. But basically, it's, you know, wonder why I'm so obsessed about this stuff. You see it in the movies. I just saw another movie last night where it connected in with AI and all this other stuff. It was in this older movie about this blonde chick, a blonde girl who had superpowers, and she was trying to connect in with AI and using that black ink substance, connect and use it into AI. And what do you think is going to happen and be in the thing that's going to go under our skin? And it's just about the same point I'm making this video about the G. They're gonna put it in the mark, and it's gonna go under your skin. I guarantee you. I don't doubt it. Look, I read an article, and even from Elon Musk and everyone else's developers, it's graphene, Brazilian, or it's graphene within this device. And if you think I'm blind, go look up an article. It's in like neuroscience or whatever, the science community. They are very familiar with graphene, how it's used, its purposes. But most of the purpose, I mean, obviously, yeah, they get you with, it's going to be used for good things, but, you know, at the same time, humanity always finds the way for it to be used for something else than good, but basically bad or evil. And they use it that way because any way you can sell these mindsets, sell it to someone, that's all that matters. And you can gain, and they can gain their profits, they can get their money out of it. And basically they just say, oh, if you're against this, it's for the betterment of humanity, so we can move forward. Basically, that's how they would put it. I mean, other things I would go into as well, but basically that would be the main point. You know, there's always going to be some good things about it, and that's what they're going to use to get you to take it, call it good, and everything else. Just remember, good will be called evil, evil will be called good, especially in these times. So, God bless, amen, fire and ask, Godspeed out.